Hi, I'm Mr. Rowley. In this video, we're going to talk about the literary technique called conflict. By conflict, we just mean the problem in the story. And every narrative has some type of conflict, usually more than one type. If you think you have a piece of writing that doesn't have any conflict, ask yourself, is this really a narrative, or is this some other type of writing? The types are listed here. You know, person versus person is just the way that it sounds. You've got your main character in conflict in some way with another person. It doesn't have to be a physical conflict. It could be a difference in values, difference of opinion about something, but it involves the main character in conflict in some way with at least one other character. Person versus self, the narrator is, the main character is in conflict with something internal. Not sure what decision to do next. Not sure which person to go out with. Not sure which is the right path for himself or herself. Person versus nature is also sometimes called person versus environment. So in the Jack London story, To Build a Fire, in which a guy is out there trying to stay warm under extremely cold temperatures up in the Yukon, that's a person versus nature, person versus environment conflict. Person versus society is the main character is involved in something larger than himself or herself. It may involve an element of person versus person also, particularly if there's one other character that exemplifies the conflict. But a character, for example, in China who's locked up for speaking out against the government would be an example of a person versus society conflict. Sometimes people add the person versus God or supernatural type as a fifth type, but be careful with that one, because sometimes a story that may appear to be a person versus God conflict might actually be person versus self. But then you also have the possibility that the God character is really more of a supernatural, really more of a person versus person conflict. If you think about Homer's Odyssey, where you have gods and goddesses walking around basically as though they were people, person versus person might be one way of expressing that conflict. It really depends on the context. So that's conflict.